Hello and welcome back. I'm DrHamfist, and get ready for the cheese. I don't know if you saw the last episode. I'm hoping you did. It's going to give some context here. We have just a few relics. Two in particular are very important. Centennial Puzzle. Draw 3 cards when you first lose health. That might matter. It actually probably won't because of the Runic Pyramid. Everything that's shaped like a pyramid is great for us, right? So at the end of your turn, you no longer discard your hand and you draw 1 less card each turn. So we'll start by drawing 4. Any of those we don't play, we'll keep into our next hand. The reason that's so crucial is we're going for an infinite with this deck, right? We have 9 cards total, 2 of which are drop kicks, and 1 of which is a bash. So we're basically already there, as long as we can pass a few turns and then just like pick up our deck. With these upgraded defends, we may be able to get by using only 1 or 2 of these on the turns when we're trying to avoid taking damage, while we just pick up more of our deck and then just drop everything, go infinite, splinter twin them, Exodia them, kill them instantly. We can only do that to 1 target at a time, because Bash is a single target vulnerable. We're looking to pick up a Thunderclap so we can do it to groups, and we're also looking to pick up something to help us chew through Artifact. This is the Bronze Automaton boss we're going to have to fight. So we want multiple ways to get through his Artifact stacks, right? That's the goal. So, probably want a late shop, just to get another card removal. Probably fine with hitting a shop on our way there if we can find it. Right here looks good. Yeah, there's going to be an elite either way, yeah? Oh, actually, this does not meet up. So this shop is on the path with this elite and no other shops. Are we fine with that? I think we are. There's an elite here and here. But we could skip elites going this way. I think we're fine with fighting elites. I think if we're going to fight elites, we might rather hit a shop before. Something like this. It's 2 elites. That probably actually is fine, though. We might be fine with just trying to infinite these elites. I say that, and then we're going to die to one of them and just ruin this great chance we've built. I think we might just take this path, remove 1 more card, hit this unknown, and then try to crunk these 2 elites. Just bend them over. Let's try it. This might just squander everything we've built, but let's try to do it, right? Oh, so this guy's actually a perfect example. You cannot simply... Wait, no. I'm thinking of this wrong. This guy you can infinite. Yeah, okay. The person that you cannot infinite is the snake plant monster, whatever that's called. It might just be called snake plant. It has this passive where when it takes damage, it gains armor, and each time it takes damage, it gains 1 more armor. All right, so we took 2 because the first turn we only had 1 defend, but now he's vulnerable. We draw our bash with our first dropkick, and we draw our dropkick with our second dropkick, and then we draw our second dropkick with our first dropkick, and then we draw our first dropkick with our second dropkick, and we've won, right? So turn 2, we've taken 2 damage, and we've got him. So now you get to watch the thrilling content that is me repeatedly casting dropkick, right? But here's the challenges with this deck. We need to get vulnerable for this to work. If we can, we'd like to slot this out for like Quicksilver Dagger. Is a card that costs 0 and does damage and redraws. So that's a better version of this. So here's that Thunderclap. I think we have to take this. The other thing is this only costs 1. There's a world where we remove Bash and simply use Thunderclap. I think in the meantime, we take this, we remove a strike from our shop, and we have 2 sources of vulnerable. So we could say we're fighting something with Artifact, and this turn it's not attacking us. We could play both. One of them costs 3, or one of them costs 2, so it costs 3 totals. That's all we can do. But if they aren't attacking us, that's probably fine. I think for now, we're still paying for the removal service, and still picking up the... removing, I should say, the strike. Short of anything here being better for our deck, which very few things are good for our deck. This Madness, in a sense, could be good for our deck. I'm going to say it's not. So I think we're just removing another strike. Yeah, so we're back down to 9 cards. We have 2 vulnerable cards, one of which only costs 1. Fights don't do much for us in this deck, so we're going to hit all the unknown events we can. +1 energy on the first turn of combat, probably not going to matter. Not to say we'll never spend that 4th energy on the first fight, but probably not going to matter. Okay, so we'll play this defend. I think we'll pause there. The Centennial puzzle will help us draw. I think that's fine. The reasoning being we could be facing a lot of damage next turn with this person, this bird, I should say, going up to 10 damage. I don't want to get in the situation where we're trying to mitigate damage while also picking up a lot of cards, because we're only drawing 4 a turn. In this case, we're only taking 2. We're going to heal because of Burning Blood, and that'll trigger our puzzle, and we'll draw a ton. So this should be fine. Yeah, and now you're going to see the other option, which is we play Thunderclap, make them all vulnerable, and then we drop kick the crap out of all of them. Even with us apparently... Wait, no. It's not that we're weak, it's that they take half damage until they're knocked out of the sky. Okay. And a fun thing is I don't have to care about my ordering here. We can just hit whichever one. With them all being vulnerable. And we're sitting on 3 potions. I think for now we're fine with just keeping these. And just losing one, should we need to. We're performing well here. We're, winning with full health. But we've got a weak potion, a strength potion, and a regen potion. So I think the strength potion is probably the worst potion here. We could say it's the weakest. It's actually weaker than the weak potion. Because strength means nothing when you're killing them instantly. But this does have fringe uses, like against the snake plant. Your strength gives you the ability to deal a certain amount of damage in one turn. Against the snake plant, when you try to go infinite, you can actually only deal X before you just stop dealing damage. That might be like 35, something in that territory. Let's check the card before we choose which potion. And we don't care about any of these. All right. That's actually an interesting thing. You could redraw the same flex and flex repeatedly. That has no application in this deck, I would say. But you could play this flex and then redraw it and then play it again. It doesn't like net profit you like too much strength and you end up with some at the end of the turn, but you could just reflex. So I think we dropped the strength potion for the poison potion. The reasoning in short is you can use this to remove an artifact stack. You can't do that with the strength potion. Now there's certain encounters where that's wrong and we'd rather have the strength, but we'll hope we don't find those. Okay, so cultist and oh no. Oh no, this is gonna be really bad. Wait, no. It's attacks that don't trigger it, I think is what it is. So the Chosen has this madness thing, right? And that can be really problematic for us. In short, it can be very problematic because it gunks up your deck. Now I think it only triggers on non-attacks, is what it is. Alright, she hasn't even applied it yet. That said, I think we still can't go infinite yet. Right? So what we can do here is like we can play Thunderclap if we want. And then we might as well like play several drop kicks. But we're not going to be able to pick up the last card. Yeah, so I think we just play this defend. And I mean, well, I guess we can just we can drop kick as many times as we find it. Yeah, but I think we end here. And I think we're not going to run into any issues with hand size because we can hold our whole deck. But yeah, so here's what I was talking about, right? Hex. Whenever you play a non-attack card, shuffle one Dazed into your draw pile. So if any of our combo pieces weren't attacks, that would just single-handedly ruin us. You'll find that all of our combo pieces are attacks, so we'll be fine. And this weaken here is going to make this take quite a while. In fact, it's probably worth upgrading the drop kicks just to reduce the amount of time it takes to watch these guys die. So maybe we will do that shortly. Yeah, because we're dealing 5, which is the 3, then, multiplied by 1.5 and rounded up. Because we're weakened and they're vulnerable. So I think what we're looking to do, because you can basically see the rest of our deck, this is 2 drop kicks recycling, and then we have 4 defense, only 1 strike, a thunderclap, and a bash. I think for a moment we're fine with the bash. If we were to find another thunderclap, we'd want to remove the bash, I would say. But I think if anything, we remove the strike next. Possibly one of the basic defense. I think the normal strike is worse. That does leave this deck with like no offensive tools. Should we say get flooded with status cards or something? I don't think we care about energy. I think every other potion is more valuable to us. And we don't care about these cards. Okay. So we'll take on the elite, I say. I think we'd rather hit 2 elites in a campfire than 2 normal fights in a campfire. Okay, so these guys probably, yeah, are dealing a ton of damage to us first turn. So we're going to draw 3 off Centennial and then 4 off the next turn. So we're going to draw 7. So we can play both of these defends and then just take the 7. Or sorry, I should say draw the 7 to draw everything. And we can just take however much they're dealing. Short of us using our weak potion, there's not any way to really mitigate that. Don't add a status to us. I just realized. Okay, so we have 1 wound. Does that just ruin us? I think it does, right? Okay, I don't think we have a way around that. Well, let's see. Because we play Thunderclap, we play this drop kick, we play a drop kick. Yeah, I think we're in trouble here. Because what have we got here? This is a defend. I'm not sure there's anything we could have done to avoid that. We just need to remove another card from our deck. So let's think about this. What we may be able to do, we're probably picking up another wound or 2. Yeah, we don't have like a vulnerable potion. I don't know if those exist. That would be nice if we had it. So I guess what we should do is deal as much damage as we can. Which I think Bash technically does a better job at that than Thunderclap does. And we should start working on the lowest health one. Because we can Bash, drop kick, and then we can play an upgraded defend if we want. You can look at Thunderclap as dealing 9 damage when there's this many enemies. Maybe we should use this poison potion to help us kill someone. This is now really tricky, and I really don't want to lose this run. Because we're like right there. We are like right there. We're so close to having it just go infinite all the time. We need to remove a few more cards to avoid getting beaten by this wound here. Are we holding 10 cards? It says 3, 3, and so we're holding 9 right now. But I'm willing to bet we're getting more wounds there. This fight might go long, and we might take a lot of damage, and I'm actually just going to use this regen potion and use a poison. That might seem like just overreacting and panicking, but I know I've lost before, like sitting on an infinite when I just couldn't quite get there. I want to make sure we don't have that experience again. So we're also going to vulnerable him. Drop kicks are only doing 5, which is not much. Alright, so we did get lucky and find another drop kick, but yeah, so here we're kind of stuck. Both of our drop kicks in our discard, and we don't have a way of drawing them. The Swift Potion, I guess, should be, you know, kept as a very high value potion because it can get you out of these puzzles here. So we could play a defend, an upgraded one at that. Mitigates quite a bit of damage. It's probably worth it. We also could commit like a weak here, which we maybe even should. It's just that this can get rid of an artifact later. I think we are going to use this. I'm very scared of this right now. This could be really, really bad. I do not want to die like this. Yeah, because until we kill one of them, this is just a brutal amount of damage. And if we don't kill this one fast enough, he can actually like web us where we cannot play any what is it, non-attacks, I think? Yeah, so he is still vulnerable. So we can drop kick him down. And I guess if we knew we could get there, we probably should have left the poison potion off of him. Yeah, but now we're not going to go infinite, right? Because we can like thunderclap or slash bash, whichever one we want to do. I guess whichever one we play, we're going to redraw. So does it make sense to play thunderclap twice this turn and get them both double vulnerable? Maybe it does, because we can play thunderclap as our only energy spender and then an upgraded defend. I don't know. Sure. I guess this one's lower health. And it does matter. And then yeah, so we breathe the thunderclap first. So I guess we just defend thunderclap and then they're both vulnerable next turn at the start of it, but I think we're getting another wound here. So I think we still can't go infinite. But at least if we drop kicks, they're live. Yeah. Okay, well, we'll probably just get a wound here. The thunderclap. Okay. Can we get him? Yeah, so this strike is the most efficient damage we have. And then the bash is not enough. So I'm thinking just defend and thunderclap again. Yeah, that's probably fine. We're still probably going to end up about at half health with all of our potions. Used every potion. So rough. Alright, is strike going to get him? It is. I think we'd rather just save all the health we can now. And we might as well... I should have played both the bad defend cards, I think. Just to get them out of our hand. Probably what I should have done. Yeah, and since we don't discard these wounds, we need to be really, really careful here. Because there's a very real possibility our hand just gets full of wounds and defenses and we can't kill him. Yeah, I need to actually be kind of careful about this. Yeah. This actually, like, could go totally bottoms up. Alright, because every time we draw a defend, there's just no way to remedy that, right? Yeah, there's just no way. So we're going to do everything we can to just dump non-attack cards and try to draw some more attacks. We have a very finite window to get him. And we want to be drawing as fast as possible. Yeah, we got him. Okay. Okay. Jeez. Alright, so ended at 55. At the start of each combat, heal for 2. That is, like, not at all worth what we just went through. Oh well. We got our regen potion back. We lost 2 potions to pick up this, and a lot of health to pick up that as well. No way. And this next fight could be really bad. Do we want to rest? I don't think so. I think what we want to do here... Does this do... No, it does not do 2 turns of vulnerable. We probably upgrade a drop kick. Maybe a defend. Let's upgrade a defend first. And then hopefully not fall apart here. Okay, this is fine, yeah. I don't think these guys add weak. Swing for 9. We'll take 1 and draw the rest of our deck. Okay, we're fine. Yeah, so these guys aren't as, like, crazy stupid as the group of slavers is. That slaver fight is really rough. And then here, we could kill all of them this way. These guys are minions, so we might as well just kill the big boss. Yeah, so we only took 1. We're going to gain... well, in a sense, we now gain 8 per fight, so we're going to profit 7 health, with the blood vial giving us 2. So this is actually an example of us gaining health without having to commit any potions, fighting an elite, right? So it's pretty rare. Now we've cheesed everything, and you know this is not us really outwitting the elite so much. It's not us making brilliant plays. But we're gonna get basically a free relic for doing this. That is what I was hoping we would have happen with both elites. So maybe it's still correct to gun for all the elites we can. I think there's no more that we can hit on this path yet, but 2 in one path is honestly probably about as many as you can reasonably expect. There may be a way to path 3 in one path, but it's probably hard to do that. So this 2 in one path is pretty good. And let's see what we get here. So the tiny chest. 30 gold, and you are 10% more likely to find treasure in question mark rooms. And then nothing we care about, which is going to be the story of like every card ever. Oh yes, the peace pipe. This is the most welcome sight in the world for this deck. So before I was thinking we would lean towards this. No, we're going to go to the rest site. We're going to go remove strike. I say the strike. All right, we're just hunting down campfires now. All right, we've done it. We've gone properly infinite. They both have 2 campfires, but this has an unknown, so we'll probably go to the right here. Ha! This fight has historically given me a lot of problems. But we're basically just doing like a large victory lap here. I think we're fine with taking the 4, right? Because we're only going to draw 4 if we don't take any damage, so I think we take this 4. Yeah. And then what does this inflict on us? That's the question, right? I can't remember. So it's just frail, which does nothing. Yeah, so here, Thunderclap will tag them both, which we do need to kill both of these people. Alright, so yeah, this is essentially, short of us running into Artifact, or people with like status effects, this is sort of a victory lap through the rest of the game. As we just clear our way through the whole spire, just drop-kicking everything. We have sort of, entered the infinite of drop-kicking style. We're now the drop-kicking, like, revered dojo master who just, like, rules over the land of dropkick. You know, we're basically Pokemon Trainer Red in the world of dropkick Pokemon. I don't know if any of you are familiar with Pokemon Trainer Red. In the Pokemon world, I think it was just in like the original Pokemon Game Boy games, which is to say Pokemon Red and Blue. You spend like a ton of time playing this Pokemon game and like, you know, getting better Pokemon, and you go and you beat what you believe is the best the world has to offer, which is the Elite Four and also Giovanni, right? So Giovanni is like this big like mafia boss bad guy who has some really strong Pokemon, and then there's also this like Elite Four, who is this collection of like 4 of the best trainers in the world. And I can't remember if Giovanni like is part of the Elite Four or if he's like separate, so there's like 5 of them. But there's this series of just these like, you know, toughest guys out there. And you go to fight them all, and you eventually do it. It usually takes you a lot of like going and retraining in order to prepare to beat them all. Wow. I think it's correct to keep removing cards. Do we get rid of 2 of these defends? Because the thing is, we might be able to get down to like a turn 1 infinite. We draw 4. We need to have Thunderclap, Dropkick, and then we need to play this and then redraw it. So we would need to have only 4 cards. So we can't do that before the boss. And I think we do want to keep this bash, because some turns we can Thunderclap bash. So we drop an upgraded defend. I think that's correct. Yeah, I think we don't get rid of the second defend, though. We're going to have a campfire before the fight. I think we might keep it. And just upgrade something, like just for the logistics of this final fight. I think that's true. I want to say we want to do that. All right, so sorry. Yeah, that was that took me off guard, that unknown event. Having a chance to remove even more and having to decide whether or not that was correct to do. So you go fight, you know, the biggest baddies, and the first time you get there, pretty much automatically get smashed trying to do it. There's almost no way to beat them when you first show up. Short of you knowing you have to grind for them, but if you just like play the game casually, go and find them, they're way too tough. You go out and you train for like a day of real time. You put like 24 hours into the game across like a week, like training your Pokemon, getting them crazy good. You go beat the Elite Four, right? Then, if you keep playing, which you can do, you can find Pokemon Trainer Red, who is the protagonist from like earlier episodes of the game. Well, not really the game, but like the manga, right? The cartoon, or like the cartoon and the comic books, the manga. And since he's like an older protagonist, he existed earlier in the world chronologically. And what you find is what he's done since being the key character in the story is just go out and train his Pokemon forever, relentlessly. And you go find him in this cave. And basically he's just been like out training Pokemon, sleeping in a cave the rest of his life. Like since we know anything that he did is like he left the main story, he's just been training Pokemon and sleeping in a cave. And you go find him and he just whoops you. Like you beat everybody in the world. You beat the best 5 trainers the world knows about. And this guy's just in a totally different league. So you would think if you just read Battle Trance, it would be perfect for our deck. The problem is you cannot draw any additional cards. That's the catch, right? The draw 3 cards for 0 makes it sound like we could just go off immediately, but no, we actually don't want that. And then here, yeah, so the problem with this is of these 6 cards, we draw 4. If I remove 1, we do not have an infinite. Because we draw 4, 1's in our discard, we play Thunderclap, then 2 are in our discard, and then we can draw those 2 using Dropkick. But then we draw those 2 and not one of our Dropkicks. So removing a card does not make us like turn 1 infinite on this fight. And I think I want to reserve the right to play 2 defense and Thunderclap in 1 turn, right? I think I want to be able to do that. Because wearing down the artifact stacks, I think we'll be like defend, defend, Thunderclap, defend, defend, Thunderclap, and we'll get 16 block and remove 1 artifact and do that repeatedly. So with that in mind, I don't think 6 health is better, and it's actually like 4 health, because we're going to get 2 when we go into the fight, right? So I don't think 4 health is better than an upgrade. So we're either upgrading Dropkick or Thunderclap, and that's it. Let's do a Dropkick just to make the infinites faster. I don't think the extra damage on Thunderclap really means much. I think, you know, Dropkick dealing a bit more is better for just like quality of life. Okay, so Bronze Automaton, yes. I think last time I saw this guy, I called him like the Iron Guardian when I first saw him. So we're just gonna, you know, keep going with that. Like this is the Mithril Defender. All right, so Thunderclap Bash seems fine here. And then I think we just pass. Like, I think we want to hold on to these rather than put them into our discard where we have to draw them again. Yeah, so if we had a potion that could remove an artifact stack, we could go infinite here. We don't, though. But what I think we'll do is we'll Thunderclap. This will not yet go infinite on the Bronze Automaton, because he's not vulnerable, but it is infinite on his ads. So let's tear up his ads. This is important to do, actually, because these ads can remove a card from our deck, and if they removed one of our Dropkicks, we'd be a bit SOL. We really couldn't go infinite without the second Dropkick. So we need to do this. And then once we kill the ads, our goal is to not leave more than 4 cards out of our hand, which should be trivial to do, because that means only having 2 left, but... I think what that basically means is we're going to play both defense. And we'll draw those 3 cards then. Right? Yeah, so we should be fine. Alright, yes. So I believe we'll use bashes because it does more. We are now infinite. Yes. Alright. So, boss trivially down. This is a very cheesy, cheaty type of deck. So it's not exactly like, you know, a huge win to have accomplished this, but I did want to do this just to know it's possible. So here is Slay the Spire on easy mode. What I'm wondering is, will this be an effective strategy for Ascension mode? Because I know Ascension mode is supposed to make the game more difficult. I'm wondering how it does that, and if you could still, you know, try to go infinite and cheese it. If the game becomes harder in that you say like take more damage or the enemies are swinging for more, that does nothing to slow down, going infinite. When you go infinite, you just lay everything out and they're dead. If it does something like limit the number of cards you can play per turn, or add like, you have a wound in your deck that you cannot get rid of, something like that would meaningfully impact this strategy. And to be fair, any change makes it harder to get here, but like once you've rounded the corner, you're just done and you just win, right? You just see the numbers 7, 12, 7, 12 occur until they die. And let's see what we get here. We're looking for another Thunderclap if we can find it. We're looking for another Thunderclap, and then... I don't think it's possible to use Fiendfire. Like, the feed, as far as if you're going to have spare cards, like getting extra health, killing them, kinda is worth it. I don't know if it's right, though. I think we'd rather have a turn 1 infinite. Can we have feed be part of a turn 1 infinite? Is that possible? Because, like, the catch with this, right, is like, say we don't want it. We play it once, it's gone. Well, I guess, like, just avoiding playing anything means it's kind of gone. With, like, us, having that runic pyramid. I don't know. I think we'll take the feed and just get some more max health, and, like, maybe that saves us in the final fight. Like, it gives us more time to go infinite. Or, like, what if we're fighting Time Lord and we can't go properly infinite on him, and, like, we can get a bunch of damage each turn, but not, like, literally infinite, and then... like, the maximum health gives us a little bit more allowance to, like, chew more damage from him. I think we do take feed. It's tough. It's, like, it's not a clear yes, but I think we do take it. I think we upgrade it soon. Well, I don't know. We're not going to upgrade much. We're going to remove stuff. I think we do take it. I think we try. This could be wrong. Let's try to take it. It'll at least be fun. All right, so Lizard Tail, when you would die, heal to 50% of your max health instead, only works once. We might take that. White Beast Statue, potions always drop after combat. That actually could be huge. It might help us chew through Artifact really well. And then that does nothing because we have no cards in our deck. So would we rather have the Lizard Tail, or would we rather have the White Beast Statue? That's actually tough. I think White Beast Statue may be better, but it's close. It's really close. It is really, really close. The thing is, this will not help us die to just, like, our deck flooding with wounds or something. And the easiest way for our deck to flood with wounds would be if the enemy had Artifact and we couldn't go infinite because we couldn't get them vulnerable early enough. This means we have more potions, and potions can sometimes help you chew through Artifact. So I think we take this, keep it as an out against Artifact enemies. I think that's what we're doing. We'll try it. And fight... I don't know what that is. The Awakened one? The Birdman? The Crowbot? Is that the Crowbot? Probably the Awakened one. I don't know. I'm not even going to say I know what that is because I don't. But we'll fight whatever that is, and hopefully kill it in one turn. Next time, we'll see if we can do that. We'll have to fight through some annoying Artifact enemies to get there. I know that's true with Act 3. I know it's going to happen. So it's not totally won yet. Like, we still can mess this up. And as far as messing it up goes, I'm relatively good at that. So tune in next time to see if I mess it up, and hopefully we get there, put our third win on the table, and we are one step closer to unlocking Ascension mode. So see you then.